Hi, welcome to week 3 of Magoo's Corner. I'm your host Trevor Gregg. So we're looking at the Division 3 reserves for this week. So it's an opportunity for guys in the reserves to put their name up in the lights and get some recognition for their efforts on a Saturday. So for the first game of round 3, we had Old Ignatians versus Flinders Park in the city. 10-9-69 defeated Flinders Park 7-3-45. So it was something that we thought would be the case, but for Old Ignatians with goal scorers, we had Menzies with 2, Sini with 2, and Gosden also chipping in. Best players were Scanlon, Allen, Collins, and a couple of other blokes also pitching in there. But Flinders Park, Benny Dider kicking 4, just soldiering on. He's a big tall unit to kick to down there in the square. So always pitches in pretty much every week on the scorecard. Fitzgerald and Cook also chipping in, and best players were Snowden, Benny Dider, and Hanson getting in there with the best players. So a bit of a, not a surprise result, but something that Flinders Park, their C grade, took on, unfortunately, Portland's C grade last week and got the job done quite easily. So is it a case again where Flinders Park have got a lot of their better players having a kick with mates and just having a little bit of fun in their C grade rather than propping up and getting a little bit more depth and putting pressure on the A grade in their B? So, which it has been the case in the past, don't know if it is now, but seems to, just looking from the outside in, that seems to be one of the reasons of them having a little bit of a drop there last week. The second game we had Foss Camden versus Golden Grove. So for me, Golden Grove being the benchmark in Division 3 at the moment, 11-7-73 defeating the Phantoms 7-7-49, and with the best players there for Golden Grove we had Lorenzo, Barker, goal kickers, Lorenzo with 3, Barker with 2, Marshall with 1, and best players were Horskins, Peterson and O'Graham. So it's not an easy game by any stretch, but it was just one that I thought Foss Camden was a little bit more up there score-wise and competitive, but Golden Grove are just going to be too strong this year. But for Foss Camden we had Harris with 2, James and Wilcox, and a couple of other blokes pitching with 1 apiece. And then we had Brozell, Leach and Cameron getting in the best players there. So next week would be hopefully one that Foss Camden can get up, but I think Golden Grove will just soldier on because they've got a lot of depth and a lot of talent coming through their high grades. So it'll be I think it'll be another win for Golden Grove next week as well. But we also had Athelston versus Seaton Ramblers. Now this was fairly comprehensive win by Athelston. Athelston were 16-12, 108 to Seaton Ramblers 4-4, 28. So we had goal kickers for Athelston was Sykes pitching in with 7, Divisio with 2, Peake and Pirro with also getting in with 2. Best players were Biancardi, Sykes and Marotta, and a couple of other blokes there also pitching in and getting some good work done, so well done boys. For Seaton we had Regari, Rugolo and Parker kicking, getting in there with Parker, Kovacs and Barkley and Heff also getting in the best players. So I don't know if this is Shane Harris that was playing in the 2s, which is very different, but we'll have to see how that one goes. But in the end it was just another one of those things where unfortunately Athelston got the job done as to a struggling Seaton outfit at the moment. So we'll have to see how that pans out for Seaton this year. Are Seaton going to be a club that just gets to the finals and stops, or are they going to be a club that can go through and get up to Division 2? I do believe that they're a better club than where they are, but I suppose that they'll work that through. Then we had Mitcham versus Plimpton. Plimpton getting the job done, 13-6-84 to Mitcham's 9-11-65. Plimpton's goal scorers, we had Self with 5, Midland with 4, Smith with 2, and a couple of single goal scorers, Self, Pitt and Wild in the best players. Mitcham we had Clark with 2, Donald and Westergreen pitching in, and best players, Westergreen, Cleggett and Clark also getting on the best players, so well done for that boys. So we look at this week, we have Flinders Park versus Foss Camden at Flinders Park, which will also be a tough ask, but I do believe that Foss Camden will get the job done there based on last week's results, and maybe a little selection dramas down there at Flinders, but yeah, Foss for me. Golden Grove versus Pembroke, Old Scholars at Harpers Field, Golden Grove all the way. Seaton Ramblers versus Mitcham at Pedlar Reserve. Gonna be tight, but if you have some of those guys coming back up through the grades to get into the ones, if that actually was Harris, who is far better footballer than in Division 3 reserves, but we'll have a look at that. But I think Mitcham will get the job done there for me. Bit of a slight upset, if you can call it, between those two sides. Out at Plympton Oval, we'll have Plympton versus Old Ignatians. Nice win by Olgies last week, and I think they'll get the job done again. And of course, Athelston with the bye, so another division where we've got the byes making a little bit of an impact on the season. But that's what we've got for Division 3 reserves. Looking into round 4 for this week. Thanks very much for your time, and make sure you look out for the SA Footballer from australiasports.com, and we'll catch you again next week.